but a perfectly thrown ball. More injuries than anybody.
There he is again. We saw this in Carolina. We did that Carolina.
What goes through your mind into that game when you touch on Van Jefferson? I'm guessing somebody you just met this week.
No, Van and I go back. I'm not very happy with Van until now. I was trying to get him to come to Oklahoma. He wouldn't text or call back. He owes me one.
I think just he plays fast. You know, you could see when he sees things, he can speed it up. He's got great upper body twitch. And you could just feel, even on the third down conversion to Ben Skoranek, you know, where he's kind of sitting in the pocket, he quickly exhausts the progression. That's on the backside, and he delivers a strike versus a man coverage right on the body. So.
Okay, so when Baker Mayfield was claimed off waivers on Tuesday, there was a report that the QB actually booked a flight to Los Angeles even before he officially cleared waivers. And leading up to the Thursday night football game against the Las Vegas Raiders, many were speculating if Baker would start, as he would be learning a totally new offense with just 2 days notice on a very short week. But after the fourth quarter heroics of Baker Mayfield, where he led the Rams to victory after being down by 13 late in the game, many in Hollywood could not have scripted this any better. He basically did the same thing Tom Brady did on Monday Night Football, but with no timeouts and starting from a way worse position on the field, albeit with some help from some boneheaded penalties. Baker Mayfield should be lauded for his performance on Thursday, particularly when considering he had a decimated offense with injuries to Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson, along with a terrible 5-man pass protection, and to top it all off, Aaron Donald was sitting out with an ankle injury. Anyways, with the Rams down 16-3 in the middle of the fourth quarter, Baker led a decent drive into Raiders territory that was capped off with a Cam Akers rushing TD to pull the home team within 6. The Raiders got the ball back with a few minutes left in the game and proceeded to play not to lose. They continued to eat time off the clock by running the football, as LA had no timeouts left and even decided to punt the ball on 4th and 1, which I don't really blame McDaniels on that call. Some of the more glaring issues from the Raiders coach could be his insistence on running the football against the Rams defense instead of putting it in his QB's hands, as Derek Carr only attempted 20 passes against 38 run plays. This was clearly a defensive approach to the game, and Derek Carr didn't have a great game also, as he threw a terrible red zone pick which could have extended an already decent lead heading to the half. Anyways, the Raiders would punt the football, and a few unlucky bounces would see the Rams offense having to start all the way at their own 2-yard line. So Baker, with just a minute 46 and no timeouts left, orchestrated one of the greatest comebacks in 2022. After connecting on a 9-yard pass to his receiver, on 3rd and 1, Baker looked to have made a colossal error, throwing in an interception that would later be ruled as a defensive PI call on Amik Robinson. And then the very next play or two later, Raiders pass rusher Max Crosby would have his sack cancelled after a boneheaded unsportsmanlike call from Jerry Tillery, who swatted the football out of Baker's hands after the play ended. Just 2 back-to-back penalties that really cost the Raiders team and obviously gave Baker and his offense a boost. So with a fresh set of downs, this very next play just shows you that Baker Mayfield actually has some of that juice still in him. He threw a perfect 32-yard pass to Ben Skoranek where only his receiver could grab the ball. Then on a couple plays later, with about 15 seconds left in the game, Baker found Van Jefferson in the end zone for a 23-yard score, giving LA the lead after the extra point kick. This throw was pure money as it hit the receiver in the breadbasket, and although Baker had some help with penalties, that should not discredit what he just did on this 98-yard drive. He threw 2 perfect passes in tight coverage with 0 timeouts, and as you could see, he and his head coach were both ecstatic after the game in the post-game press conference. This was a Rams team that were clearly trending downwards after losing 6 straight against a Raiders team that were making a bit of a resurgence with 3 wins on the trot. Anyways, with this huge win, a lot of people are talking about how Sean McVay and the Rams were the best landing spot for Baker in his career. Sean's a coach who could really further develop a veteran QB like Baker and play to his strengths. The job he did with Stafford last season, winning the Super Bowl, is just a testament of how good of a coach Sean McVay really is. So it's going to be interesting to see what this tandem can do for the remainder of the season. Could this new relationship actually help Baker get his career back on track and potentially find himself for a new team for 2023? Only time will tell, and we shouldn't really get too ahead of ourselves, but nonetheless, Baker Mayfield over the next few days will certainly be the talk of the town, and deservedly so.